And we are live! There we are. We're live. Whew. That was very exciting, and now I feel like there's a big letdown.
For what? We just started. What was exciting?
Well, we were counting down the live. Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now that I'm here, I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Well,
It's fine. Yeah.
Hi. As Charles Dickens says, it was the worst of times. It was the worst of times.
I don't think that's what Charles Dickens said.
I just read it.
That's not what he said. It's not what
Pretty
he said.
sure. He was like, and it just keeps getting worse.
That's not what he said at all. No. I read that book. It's not what he said.
I'll have to go and check on that.
Somebody please fact check us. Please. Please fact check us. We need fact checking. Because often I have half of the information.
Yeah.
Because many times I'm reading the headline and then a few lines in to something and then I get bored.
Oh, you're one of those.
No, not always. It depends on the story.
Yeah.
But often, yeah. Yeah. It does happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't finish every article.
That's what I have you guys texting for. Like, I just get my information that way.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. People send us articles and then, of course, anytime I'm in my car, I'm one of those NPR nerds, so I figure I'm getting most of the information.
You know what I did do this morning on our text chain? You know, we're texting about we're both on this text chain, and we're texting about dresses this morning. And I sent my text originally to the wrong person, not to our group, and I heard nothing. And I was like, "Do they hate this dress? Like, what is happening?"
Isn't that funny?
Turns out to send it to somebody else who could care less about a gauzy
care about
dress.
dresses.
No.
Yeah, we kind of went off on a tangent that night. This morning is all dresses, all about dresses.
Because we want to get out.
We do. We want to get out, and now our weather here in California.
It's
Sorry, the rest of the states, but it is beautiful. It has been perfect. I will say, hot.
Yeah.
I mean, hot here in the valley, but
really hot.
Kind of perfect though. It's really nice.
Yeah.
It makes you want to like get out and not wear clothes and yeah. So we had a little exchange of like, oh, I got this dress recently. I got this dress recently, and which dress is best for you? It was super girly and dumb, but
and that's why I got no response from the other person I sent it to. Like, what?
Why do I care? Why do I care?
I did have my first outdoor dining experience.
Ooh, where did you go?
Spago.
Spago?
And don't forget, they're my former employees. Okay.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
So, it was for a birthday, and it was kind of emotional, kind of stressful still, I have to say, but delicious. And, you know, I had oysters. I haven't had oysters, and I can't freaking remember.
Wow.
And I could have had way more.
Oh, they comp it? Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Well, we just did our first leave the city.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
We did a road trip up north, up to San Francisco. Then we went to Big Sur, and then we had to double back because the road is still closed. In fact, if you see pictures, oh, look at that beautiful cup. That is from the Madonna Inn. That's one of the spots we hit. But yeah, did a little road trip. And so we did eat out. We were still outdoors in the restaurants. Because I don't know if I'm ready yet to go inside.
No. It's just,
we've talked about it. We're both half vaxxed right now.
Yes.
Next week we'll be fully vaxxed. But it still feels so, after a year, I mean, you know, they say 21 days to make a habit, but we've had a year to break all these habits. So it still feels like.
And all of this information about viruses and germs and how it spreads. And so, I mean, we are so much more informed about this sort of thing now. And that's all I can think of is like when I'm sitting there, like, just like seeing slow motion droplets, like moving from table to table in my brain. I'm just like,
I used to be accused of being, now I never considered myself a germaphobe really, but I like clean. I like clean. I like things clean. I don't like to share a lot. I mean, I'll share things with my daughter or Dave sometimes, but I don't really enjoy that so much.
Yeah.
But now we know why. We know, like,
Yeah.
that's a good instinct. I feel like that's a good instinct, and we should have been doing that all along, and now we know.
It's
So,
okay to be selfish, guys. It's okay
yeah.
to be
Is it selfish, though? Is it selfish if you're being cautious?
right. Right.
I mean, Um, so yeah, but it did feel, I get the emotional part. Like, we were just so happy to be out of our house.
Yes.
I mean, and I go do, I'm the one who did the like grocery store trips. I'm the one who did like the whatever had to be done.
But it's different though.
It's different when you're in a different location. Like,
Yes.
it really feels different, and it is a little emotional to remember, like, oh, used to be normal. This
Yeah.
used to be normal.
There was another get together a couple of days later, and it was just so nice to talk to. I mean, it was a very small group outside, but to talk to just different people, just to like have a conversation with different people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And one of them, a 2-year-old, almost 2-year-old. Great. So
You were like,
for my brain,
fascinating conversation.
Yeah. It's like, oh God.
We are desperate.
Yes.
At this point because it's been over a year. So thank goodness things are moving the way they're moving here in LA. We are doing better. Well, in LA, we're doing all right. In LA, we're doing all right. In the rest of the country, it's a nightmare. But in LA, knock on wood, it has been, our numbers have consistently been going down. And that's a good thing. Okay. Enjoy that while it's here. Enjoy it while it's here. Take the positives. That's part of the lessons that we've learned over this year. Take the positives. Be cautiously optimistic, right? I'm trying not to let you sink back down.
I mean, that's going to happen.
I know.
We had the CDC director almost crying on television the other day.
I know. He's like, please.
Scared of the impending doom.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Yeah. So hopefully spring break won't set everything back.
Well, that's my worry. And my other worry is, and then we should bring on our guest because we have a lot to talk to him about.
Before we really drag it all down.
But my worry is, and one of the things that has been stressing me out is I see us, the city, opening up and more people, a lot of people just didn't care anyways. But that is my fear, is that we've had, we've been exposed to all the inequalities and the dysfunction of our culture, of our country, and just to forget all of that we've learned and what we know needs to change. That's what I'm afraid, that everybody just forget and then go back to normal.
I mean, I hope we don't forget all that. I hope we keep these lessons with us that we've been slowly learning, and so many more to learn. But that's the hope, I think, for a lot of us, that a lot of us will retain that and go from here now. Like, let's take that next leap now. So, I guess I'm always the Pollyanna in our little duo. I still have faith in humanity. I'm not sure.
You're the Pollyanna. Woo.
I know, right? Right? If I'm the Pollyanna, there's but yeah, I mean, I do hope, yes, we've seen a lot of shitty things that, and people can be dumb, but I'm hoping that those of us who have been, going along with the guidelines all this time and all the other, socioeconomic information that we've gotten now too, that those of us who care will continue to operate in that way.
Well, awful things keep happening, to remind us and to keep us, paying attention. Right now, the George Floyd case is the cops are on trial. The Chauvin. And it's just an incredibly
perfect name for him.
It's just an incredibly hard reminder of so many things that need to change, and but hopefully
the world is watching. The world is watching. Malachi, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Malachi Jason. I think it's time.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think we've tortured him long enough. Let's bring on, so this is our friend who, we'll talk about everything, but this is star of stage and screen, our friend Dan Domenech.
Oh my gosh. Hey,
Hello. Hi.
it's so really great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
It's so good to see you.
It's good
I
to
have,
see you too. I'm
Hi,
not pretend that we
Ice.
haven't been talking for like the past half hour.
yeah, I know. But I did want to ask you off the bat because this was such a crazy year, and in particular, pretty crazy for you also.
Yeah,
So
we'll get
when
to
you
Okay.
that.
were when you
Hmm.
were a youngster, did you ever think that in 2020 that Whoopi Goldberg would be interviewing you and mispronounce your name when she
Yeah.
introduced you? Dan
No, I did not.
Domenech?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like, I saw her, and a funny thing happened on the way to the forum,
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
and I may have chased her SUV down the street when I was like, what, 19 years old, because I wanted. I did
Really?
this. Did this. I was doing a reading of a musical before I got stuck on that ship, and before that interview happened with her, and that reading ended up happening while I was on the ship, and she was there because I think she wanted to be a producer on it, so she went to the reading that I was supposed to do,
Oh, full circle.
What
and
is
then
this
here we are a month
connection?
later. Oh, it's
You and
great. Oh, she
Whoopi.
works. She's connected to the theater world.
Oh, yeah,
She's
for
working.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
We
I
should
think she's gonna get
explain
stage for me.
what we should explain why
Oh,
Whoopi was
yes.
interviewing you. Can you tell everybody a little bit about like what happened to you at the beginning of the pandemic?
And it
What was
happened
going
to,
on?
yeah, it happened to a
So
couple of our other friends.
Many people,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I had taken my very first cruise contract ever and got stuck on the ship after the very first round through the Caribbean. And we were stuck up there for 60 days.
That's,
Anchored in the middle of the ocean, which was
Yeah.
cool in the beginning when the whole ship was open. But the minute they said, everyone back to your rooms, we're on lockdown, it
Ugh.
went from really fun to what the fuck. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, and that was crazy because there were at points they were letting other people off, right? Weren't they? What was happening? It was
Yeah,
well,
they let the patrons
passengers.
off. The passengers.
passengers,
Yeah.
right? The passengers were able to get off, but you guys couldn't.
No, we
And that
docked, I think, 3 or 4 times in Miami, and they wouldn't let us off. We were sitting there looking at American soil, and they were like, "Nope, you're not getting off the ship."
So
Craziest
insane.
thing.
and what was the rationale behind that? Like the
Well,
passengers are cool, but people who work up there, no, they're filthy. We're not gonna let them in.
I have no idea because you know what it is. It felt like there was information being not told because we just weren't privy to it.
Hmm.
But the way it seemed to be going was like you had the CDC and then you had the cruise ship, and it was like mommy and daddy are fighting, and in the middle of the children like get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like they don't even think about that because they're trying to like outdo each other. Where in reality, we have American passports, we are American citizens, we should have had every right to step off of that boat, and they
Yeah.
weren't letting it happen. Like, and we had a clean ship. Like we were more at risk getting off the boat than they were of us coming into the country. It
Totally.
Yeah.
was the dumbest thing, but
Yeah.
it happened.
Well, and you kind of became sort of one of the faces of this, which is
One
why
of
Whoopi interviewed you. So,
Yeah,
which is
yeah, that was
crazy.
great. Yeah, I put out a call for help on social media, and I gotta be
Yes.
honest with you, I had zero faith that social media was going to deliver because I was like, yeah, is anyone really going to care? Nah, they cared.
They
They
cared.
cared.
A lot of
Yeah,
people cared.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
everybody was.
amazing.
We were all pulling for you guys and going, when are they gonna let them
Yeah.
off? And we had a Zoom reunion with one of a cast that we all met on
Uh-huh.
while you were still on the ship, which was kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Fun,
was
fun for
awesome.
us.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but crazy. So that's how you started the pandemic. So,
Yeah.
um,
God.
yeah,
God.
It ended up
yeah,
being good. Like at the end of the day, as devastating as this whole year was for so many people, like there were a lot of silver linings in my own bubble, which I'm like, now that we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here, I'm looking back and I'm like, it, I'm not big on like everything happens for a reason, but this felt like everything happened for the reason
Mm,
that it should have
mm,
happened. Yeah,
yeah.
it was wild.
yeah. What a year! What a year! And you're in New York, which was for
Yeah.
so long the epicenter of everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got home and it was crazy. I was quarantining for 2 weeks after I got back and thinking like what's going to happen when I step out the front door. What's it going to be like? And it was like a ghost town in some areas. Other areas, you would think there was no pandemic. It was New York was going through its own identity crisis.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it's definitely New York, like any big city, is it's just going to mold to the times and keep
Yeah.
going. You can't sink big cities like this. They only just change with what's going
Yeah.
on in the world.
Yeah. So for you now, the city is operating, restaurants are open,
Yeah.
people are out again. Does it look anything like it looked, a year and a half ago?
Um. Yeah. I could kind of. Weirdly enough. Um. I think like peak pandemic, it was weird because you would go to some of the more commercial areas. You go down Fifth Avenue and everything was all boarded up and no one was out.
Mm.
And people are posting videos like New York's dead, but then you go downtown and people are just out and like eating in restaurants on the sidewalk and hanging out with their friends. And it's like it's not dead. I think all the people that were making New York their playground just kind of shipped out,
Yeah.
and the heart of the city stayed and kept beating. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my God. Chills.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
originally you're from Long Island.
Yeah, Long Island.
Long Island.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if I've ever actually asked you like origin story questions.
Yeah.
Like how, like, was it in high school? Was it before then? Were you
For
always like,
performing?
You started
I'm an
performing.
amazing
Was I always
singer?
annoying? Yes, I was always.
Yeah. Have you always been annoying? Yeah.
Well, that started with my sister. I needed someone to bug, and so I'm assuming you're talking about performing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that started in fourth grade. I was doing a talent show in my elementary school. And I'll never forget the feeling that I had when you feel that applause because you go out and you see all those people and you're nervous. You don't know. It feels so unnatural because it kind of is unnatural.
Yeah.
It's weird when you really like sit and think about what you're doing,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you hear the applause and you're like, "Oh, that feels good. I
Oh.
want to do this again." So you start chasing like the stage,
Chasing
and
the
then
high. That's right.
yeah, and then my chorus teacher forced me into the school show, and that's when I was like, "Oh my God! Not only am I able to be on stage, but I'm hanging out with other people that are just as weird as I am. This is awesome! Like I could be
Well,
myself."
that's what I was going to say too. Simultaneously, were you always a nerd? Because when
Oh
I
yeah,
first met you, I was like, oh, like kindred spirits. Like,
yeah, yeah,
were you reading
yeah.
Harry Potter at the time when or I remember having a conversation
Probably.
about Harry Potter and like gaming and stuff, and I was like, oh,
I
who
was
is this
definitely
dude?
playing video games. I still play
Yeah.
video games. Yeah,
What were you
but
playing back
yeah,
then?
video game wise,
Yeah.
what was that? 2006. I was playing. Well,
No, no,
2000.
no. No, when you were a kid.
oh,
Like,
when I
I
was
want
a
to know
kid. I
about
thought
when
you
you
were when we
started.
met. Oh, when I was a kid, I was introduced to video games. My neighbor, who used to be my babysitter, was sitting on her front porch playing a Game Boy, playing Super Mario Brothers for the original Game Boy. And I was like, "What's this?" And she showed me, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is awesome! You have like the regular Nintendo Mario, but in your hand." And the music was appealing, and the portability was appealing, and then of course I wasn't allowed to have one, so I wanted one that much more. And then I finally got one, and I was like, there are no limits. That we are boundless. It's amazing. Um, yeah, it's an addiction that I know that when I pull myself out of it, I'm able to hustle more in like real
Right,
life.
right.
But I keep going back to it because it's like it's I think dollar for dollar, it's your best bang for your buck for entertainment because you'll spend $60 on a game that'll take 300 hours to complete fully. It's like that's value in my eyes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so funny because I can appreciate all gaming and all that, but I am
Mhm.
not somebody who enjoys spending 60 hours playing a game.
You haven't found
I'm
the
like
right
a
game.
get
That's
in, get
why.
out. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. I'm a
Probably
get
right.
in, get out. I like to like kill things. I like to,
Yeah.
I like to have a task and do it and then be done.
I got the game for you. We'll talk about that later. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Talk
Yeah,
about it now.
well, yeah, because there are times like, because our industry, it's like it's got so many highs and so many lows. When you book a job, there's no time for anything. But if you do want to get that quick fix, you can get it. And then when there's a low, maybe you do want something you want to like sink your time into to let the weeks pass by. But like right now, I'm into a game called Dead by Daylight that my girlfriend loves watching me play, which I found the one. She's like, "Can you play
Yeah.
murder games?"
Wow.
I'm like, "Yeah."
Wow.
But that game's great because the rounds are like 10 minutes each, so you could sit down for
Oh.
one and just get
Yeah.
it done, and you'll
There
get
you
better.
go.
Yeah. I may have a
Yeah.
little ADHD, so that might be, or ADD.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect for me.
Yeah, yeah. So you could just bang out a couple rounds and
Yeah.
then be done with
Yeah.
it, and not
Done.
worry. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. I also, by the way, was bitten by the bug in 4th grade.
Really?
We
Go.
were doing a play version of the Nutcracker Suite, and I was Clara.
Gosh.
Amazing. Of course. Of course. That's a classic. Do you still remember your lines?
I don't. No, I don't. No, I'm surprised I don't, but yeah. I remember lines from other plays.
We'll do a remake. We'll do a
Subsequent.
remake of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll let Claudia do all the dancing.
There it
You
is.
guys, you two can do the dancing, and I'll.
Oh,
No, Dan will bail. Dan will be. Nope, he just won't
Outta
show
here.
up for rehearsals, and he won't be in the number. Si, senor.
oh
So
my God.
So, what Claudia is talking about is that we all met doing a show that we've talked about on here before, Cesar and Ruben, the musical, about Cesar Chavez, whose birthday just passed, by the way, 2 days ago, the 31st. And so we all met doing that play. It was Ed Begley Jr. wrote it and directed it, and Claudia and Dan were two of the dancers and / actors, and Dan decided to bail on one of the numbers.
Well, I think the choreographer just kept saying, if you don't show up, you're not going to be in the number. And
He's like,
so,
"Great."
and that would never even think about
And it
not
turned out to
showing
be a
up
good thing.
for you.
It's like, I'm
Yeah.
breaking the show. I mean, you see that happen all the time. Like, you'll be watching a show on Broadway and you're like, that doesn't make any sense why that person's there. Or like, where's so-and-so? It's like, yeah, they just didn't show up that day. Or maybe they were too eager in rehearsal and we're like, yeah, I'll do a backflip. And now the backflip is in the number. And it's like, that's why that's there. Stuff makes its way in and out of shows in the way that you think it is. Because you're like, this is professional. There's no way. No, that's the way.
That's how it works. Yeah, that's how it works. So you were living out here in LA at the time, obviously, and then you moved shortly after, right? Or was it while
I
you were
was
still
there for
doing the
about
run?
3 or 4 years.
After?
I got out there in 2006 and I left in 2009-ish into 10.
All right, so we did that in 2008?
7.
7.
No, that
Okay.
was, although 7, 6 into 7.
Seven. Yeah, 7. It was 2007. And so what took you away?
Rock of Ages.
Rock of Ages.
Yeah, I auditioned for Rock of Ages in LA for the tour and booked it. And that's when I was like, all right, see ya. And so I packed up my whole apartment. What I couldn't fit in my car, went into the garbage or donated or went to friends. And then I drove back to New York and had a little downtime before rehearsal started.
And then you've been there ever since.
And I've been here ever since. This is home though. I was, born and raised here.
Yeah.
But I do miss LA. I miss it constantly. There were the friends that I made out there I'm still friends with. And then
Who?
Who? My friend Tommy. Actually, Ryan left.
I know Tommy.
You know Tommy from Freshly Band. Marguerite. They're all just like the people that my friend Sari, who's like not even in the industry anymore, she became like a psychologist and she lives in Orange County Long Beach. It's like you find your favorites and you keep them close, like you two.
I feel like I wish I could have seen you in Rock of Ages because I feel like that's such a good show for your voice. Like,
That was a good
Frank.
one.
But you also did.
Totally. I think Fran is commenting on the fact that I said who, and you named everybody else, and before you got to us, who your friends were.
I said, and you too.
At the end.
Oh, save the best for last. Come on.
There you go. Oh, nice save. Nice
You're
save.
not going to get me. Yeah.
So when was Rent? Rent was before you came out here, right?
Rent was
That was
before.
early on.
Yeah, Rent was 2002 to 2006.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I wish I could have seen that one too.
That was good. That was good. That kind of like, that was interesting because that came at a time in, your early 20s when you're so malleable as a human being. And because the show is so built on this, the lines measure your life in love and no day but today. And it's all this acceptance and about community and about like being a starving artist. It romanticized all these things that now that I'm an adult, I'm like, I'm glad I had that then. But there's definitely some like practical things now that they don't teach you in Rent.
So I was a little older when Rent came out. I mean, I was in my late 20s when it came out. And I just remember going like, well, of course you have to pay rent. Like, this is life. This is life. You have to pay
rent. And
rent.
then when you see that their friend Benny was offering them like a free loft with a studio, and you're like, why did you take that?
Why are you being so stupid?
And then they're like, but they're going to be sellouts. It's like, no, they're not.
No, they'll have a place to live. Like, it didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me. And I mean,
there are a lot of shows that you just sit there and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers came up the other day, and it was like, that's a movie about human trafficking. Like, they kidnap women.
Never my favorite show.
Hold them hostage.
Not my favorite. Yeah.
To be their wives.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. We got to do a deep dive into some of these writers.
Oh no! Can't think about it. Can't think about it.
It's like,
Yeah, can you imagine? Oh.
Yeah. I mean, you're in Hollywood. Yes, I can't imagine Hollywood's work.
Yeah.
It's crazy over there.
Yeah. We should share. I have some photos I want to share of you a little bit. Although I just realized I don't have Rent in there, but I'm gonna share things anyway. Give me just a second here. It's gonna take me just a second, because as it always does. Talk amongst yourselves.
What are you doing for Easter, Dan?
I'm going to my mother's house. My mother's house, like my dad's not there. My mom and dad's house.
Sorry, Dad.
It's your mother's house. That's fair.
As a mama's boy.
What do you guys cook? Do you guys cook like the same thing?
Probably a Puerto Rican meal. Probably rice and beans with a pork shoulder and some tostones, maduros, some yuca.
Yum. Can I come?
Yeah.
I know. I was like,
absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So this is, we're going to start off with the one that we bet you in, because that's where, as far as we're concerned, that's where you begin.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Who's that skinny guy in the back?
There's Dan. Look at him. There he is. Dan being like a father right there, right?
All these people are grown-up adults also.
And there's Claudia. There's Claudia right here.
Yeah, I love that dress. Where did it go?
It was such a good show. It was such a freaking good show. We should have done this in New York. Even with no money, we should have done it in New York. We would have found the money.
Yeah. Rochelle would have killed Ed if that happened, because she couldn't have taken the stress, the pressure. Yeah. She would have been too worried.
Yeah. We can still do it. It's written,
Yeah, that's right. It's right there.
Not like there's a timeline.
I'm actually a better age for it now.
I know more people out here.
There you are.
I look more haggard. They won't,
Yeah, I think we actually could still do it. All the same. So there's Dan there, and there's Claudia. You guys, the supermodel farm workers.
Do you remember that review?
What? No, I don't remember.
They said all of the migrant workers, they were like, what did they cast? Models? And I was like, oh.
Thank you.
You can still find it. I remember grabbing that hand tool and hearing the story behind those hand tools and being like, Jesus Christ, we're telling an important story. Like,
Yeah.
like those are authentic, what we're holding right there.
I don't know if you remember this, but they are authentic, and I actually, so my dad, when he came out here, was a farm worker. When he came up from Mexico, he was a farm worker, and he still had his cortito, his short hoe. Yes, we actually displayed it in the lobby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I brought it up, and he still just used it in gardening. Like, he was still using it. I was like, can I take this for a while? But yeah, so we had his original one actually hanging in the lobby when we did the show.
This show is kind of, mind blowing, just like you hear about Cesar Chavez but in a very superficial way, and then being able to do like a deep dive. And
it's a great way to educate people about what was happening, and that we didn't know. A lot of us didn't know. My dad was a farm worker, and I didn't know. So all right, and then here we are with Dan as Aladdin.
That was fun. That was one of my favorite contracts, especially because the area of the country that we were in southern Utah, at a place called the Tuacahn Amphitheater, and it was like the most beautiful place in the country I've ever been.
I've heard it's gorgeous there.
You gotta go. You gotta go. Zion National Park is right there. I had like this great group of friends, and we would barbecue every weekend, and I was fostering a dog, and we get the dogs together. All that
sounds so idyllic.
And then there's this.
Tarzan.
Sexual. What?
I lost 50 pounds for that show.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I like the brooding. I like the brooding look.
Well, I gotta get the scowl in there. It's all about getting those lines here, because that means you're serious.
Where were you for this show?
That was in the Philippines, Manila.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. That was fun.
And then there's this.
Oh, that photo shoot.
You look amazing, by the way.
The good ones.
You look amazing.
This was the Rocky Horror Show at the Dallas Theater Center. That is like, if anyone listening or you guys ever go to the Dallas Theater Center, mention this show. It was like, it's iconic. It was so good.
I saw this show. We went to see you. I was in town, and it was actually my sister it was her first outing after having her first child, my first niece. So that was like our first big show out. We were like, it was fantastic.
It's so good. Yeah, that chair, that's all gaffer's tape on the back of the chair to make those little stripes.
That's gaffer's tape? Oh, that's amazing.
Gaffer's tape. Yeah.
Love it.
They killed it.
This is another shot from that. So.
Oh yeah.
So good.
That corset was so comfortable. I came on and it was like, I could use this. Makes me feel
one of those.
Standing up straight.
Like, my back feels so much better.
I'm like, my posture's really good. I kind of like that.
And nice gams, by the way.
Oh, thanks. I get them from, I think, my grandfather.
Then there's this.
Yes, Heather's.
The
infamous Heather's.
Which you guys just had an anniversary, right? You just posted.
Yeah. We opened 7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I love fan art, so I thought this was pretty great. This little fan art.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's your character in Heather's.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that was the understudy for this character. My character was actually like this nerdy dude with like denim.
You were the understudy. Okay.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, because that video went viral when I went on for the lead, a lot of the fan art, the guy has like bushy hair because I got like this crazy bushy hair. So a lot of the fan art has that, whereas like the original dude has like pin straight hair. Yeah, it's funny.
Wow, that's funny.
Wait, that was...
And the one that took you away from
Rock
LA,
of Ages.
Rock of Ages. So
Yeah.
great. So this was a national tour.
Learning experience. That was Broadway. This was Broadway.
That was Broadway. Okay.
Yeah. On the national
Broadway,
tour, I was
Crissy.
just swinging, and then on Broadway,
Sorry.
I got to play the lead. Yeah.
And then
The kinky boots.
Kinky
Kinky
boots.
boots. Anytime that I have to like
God,
show
I
the
love
midriff,
kinky boots.
Huh?
that's when I said that's another one that I lost a ton of weight for because it's like anytime I have to show this area, I'm like, okay, let's see what I can do about it. Yeah,
Well, it
that
worked.
was
Whatever you did, it worked.
oh yeah. And
Um,
no
and
more
then
pizza.
this is the
Ah,
last one I have. A little more
soldadera.
recent.
And this project is going to get finished this year. This
It
is
is.
my goal.
Yes, I was
I
thinking
gotta
about that
tell
as
you,
well.
like I never got a bigger response from the people that were closest to me than when I said I was going to Comic Con. They're like, "What? You're going to? That's amazing!" I'm like, "No idea." Crazy
um,
was getting in that door. The
oh,
lines.
Oh, it's insane. Yeah.
I heard. So
It's
that
like,
this was from so Comic Con. We took. I didn't get to go. I was out of town. But you guys took Soldadera. You guys did a panel for our podcast that will be finished this year. So
Yes.
finally,
Yes.
but
yeah.
you voice some characters in that, and there will be more. But that's Gustavo Rex, who is also in Cesar and Ruben. And there's Dan, and that's my daughter Alina, and that is Claudia. There we go. And that's yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Um,
Remember that
yeah.
one person lead from Heather
Sorry.
to that panel? Claudia, there was someone that showed up dressed as the lead from
Yeah.
Heather's.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
And she
It
is
was
still
like the
active on
crossover event.
Instagram. She
Wow.
follows Soldadera on Instagram, and so she still interacts and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's
So we
great.
got to put this project up. This is gonna finish this year. If you guys want to send us money,
Yep. Right up there, you can
Streamlabs.
see streamlabs.com, Studio CC. Help us create more product. That's what we're hoping to do. Bring you more and more product like we've done this year. I'm going to share a video. This is just.
I want to
this
write
is
you guys a theme song for this.
Please, we would love that.
that's crazy because I was
Yeah.
just thinking about
Yeah.
that. I was like, we need a theme song.
We got to get like a theme jingle
Yeah,
for when you
please.
start the. Yeah.
We would love that.
Yes.
All right, we're putting you on that. This is
All right.
your duty now.
I'll
For
do it.
no reason other than we're your
But y'all,
friends.
we're gonna listen
love
to him
you guys.
sing. He's gorgeous,
Yeah.
gorgeous voice.
That's right. All right, so here we go. This is a compilation of some of you singing. Here we go.
Now listen, now it's time I can't be unread. I can barely make it through the week. Yeah. Saturday night, I'd like to make a girl. Right now, I gotta make it me. I'm always working on the wall. Deep inside, to feel it too. I'm with my mind away. Yeah, just to be the next to be. So if you ask me why I like it when I play, there's only one thing I can say to you. I wanna rock. Come on, I wanna rock. That's right, come on, let me hear it. I want to rock, 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 rock. Okay, we did it.
I love it. Nice.
That
nice.
guy needs a tranquilizer. He needs to calm it down.
No way. I was
No
just
way.
thinking we need to start a band. What are
Yeah.
we doing?
When we can get back on stage. Boy, oh boy, do I miss it. Well, Dan, this has been so fun to talk to you and feel like we get to hang out with you a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be out there soon. I might
Yeah.
be moving out there at the end of the summer, and I'll fly down from San Francisco, and we'll have a hang.
And by then, we'll be
Yeah.
able to do that. So,
Right? That'll be great.
yeah. Yeah.
Are we
Totally.
excited already?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. We did it.
Just like that.
Just like
It
that.
flies.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
Well, take care there.
I miss you guys, though.
Yeah, I miss you too. And,
Yeah.
And yeah, when you're back on this
too.
coast, yeah, we'll do some more hanging out, and hopefully you'll come down and do our live variety show, the CNC show, when we get that back and up and running.
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't it be
Absolutely.
amazing if it was Christmas? December. Oh my
Fingers
God.
crossed for a
Guys,
Christmas
wear your
show.
masks. Just keep wearing your masks.
Yeah.
It's going down. It's going down. Everything's opening up.
Yeah.
We've made it.
It will.
Yeah.
It will. Yes.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all for watching and joining us. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, because then we can bring you more people like Dan, and you'll see them. We have
Thank you.
shows
Thank you
happening
to
all the time. Go ahead.
Thank you to Rich Morales for our graphics. We really
Nice
appreciate you. All of the the images and promo materials that you see on Instagram, that's all Rich Morales.
All Rich Morales, so thank you. So yeah, lovely. We'll see you guys Monday mornings. We have our Monday morning check-ins, CNC and coffee. Join us at 8:30 Pacific time. For the rest of you on the East Coast, that's more closer to lunch, so join us for lunch. And then we'll see you next Friday back here for another CNC and conversation.
And happy Easter. Jesus
Happy
has
Easter.
risen.
Happy Easter. All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Thank you so much, and we'll see the rest of you later.
Thank you.